Men, have you ever been in a relationship where, no matter how much you gave, you felt like you were always walking on eggshells? Maybe you've dated someone who always seemed to blow up over the smallest things, throwing emotional tantrums when things didn't go their way. Or perhaps you found yourself constantly questioning their motives, wondering if they really have your best interest at heart, or if they're using manipulation to get what they want. Sounds familiar? Well, the problem is many of us ignore these red flags until it's too late. But what if I told you that there's a way to spot these behaviors early and avoid the emotional turmoil they bring? Imagine having the ability to keep your cool, no matter how intense the situation gets, and making decisions that protect your peace instead of draining it. In this video, we're going to break down 6 signs of behavior that can seriously derail your relationship, signs that most men ignore because they're either too blinded by affection or too afraid to confront the reality. And most importantly, we're going to show you how to avoid falling into these traps using the powerful principles of Stoicism. Trust me, once you learn to identify these behaviors, you'll be able to save yourself from unnecessary chaos and emotional stress. If you can learn to spot these signs early on, you'll save yourself so much unnecessary heartache, drama, and mental exhaustion. I'm about to give you the tools you need to make smarter decisions. Focus on your own emotional stability and ensure that you never again fall for manipulation disguised as love. Let's dive into the first red flag you need to watch out for. But before we go any further, make sure you hit subscribe so you can get more insights like this every week, tips on how to stay focused, make rational decisions, and protect your peace in any relationship. Let's get started. Sign 1. Emotional manipulation, playing the victim. One of the most common red flags you'll encounter is emotional manipulation, when she constantly plays the victim, refusing to take responsibility for her actions and making you feel like you're always in the wrong. It can be incredibly draining, especially when you're doing everything you can to make the relationship work. But here's the trick. When someone continuously uses their victimhood as a shield to avoid accountability, it's a sign that they might be manipulating you. For example, imagine a situation where you're having an honest discussion about an issue that's bothering you, and instead of acknowledging her part, she flips the conversation and suddenly starts crying, claiming that you're too harsh or that you're always making her feel worthless. She might say something like, "You never care about my feelings," or "I'm always the one who gets hurt." This tactic makes you feel guilty and shifts the focus from the real issue. As a Stoic, your emotional response is what you can control. Instead of letting her drama dictate your mood or actions, the key is to step back and reflect on what's truly in your control. The Stoics teach us that we should avoid reacting impulsively, especially to external forces beyond our control. When someone constantly avoids accountability, it's essential to stay grounded in your own beliefs and judgments. Rather than getting drawn into an emotional tug-of-war, recognize that her behavior is not your responsibility. A Stoic man remains calm, composed, and unaffected by attempts to manipulate his emotions. By practicing emotional detachment, you give yourself the freedom to think clearly and act rationally. Recognize this behavior early on. If you see someone consistently deflecting blame or refusing to take responsibility for their actions, it's a clear sign of emotional manipulation. The key is to protect your peace and not get caught up in their emotional games. Practice emotional detachment by taking a step back when the situation gets heated. Maintain your clarity and don't let their chaos disrupt your inner calm. Sign 2. Lack of respect for boundaries. Another major red flag is when a woman doesn't respect your boundaries, whether it's invading your personal space, constantly interrupting your work time, or ignoring your need for privacy and emotional space. This is more than just a minor issue. It's a clear sign that she may not care about your peace of mind or your emotional well-being. For instance, Imagine you've had a long, stressful day at work, and all you want is some quiet time to unwind. You ask her for a moment to relax, but instead of respecting your request, she insists on talking about something trivial or demands your attention. Maybe she constantly texts or calls when you've clearly expressed you need space. This behavior shows a lack of regard for your boundaries. A Stoic understands the importance of boundaries, not just for the sake of their own well-being, but for the sake of maintaining emotional balance in all relationships. By setting boundaries, you're taking control of your own life and making sure that your needs are met. Boundaries aren't a selfish act. They're a necessary part of ensuring your mental and emotional health. If someone repeatedly crosses these boundaries, it's a sign that they're not respecting your needs. As a Stoic, you should reflect on whether this behavior is truly in alignment with your principles. By staying true to your boundaries, you maintain your peace of mind and avoid unnecessary stress. From the very beginning of a relationship, set clear and firm boundaries. Let her know what you need and expect in terms of respect for your space, time, and emotional well-being. If she ignores or challenges these boundaries, it's a clear sign that she may not value your peace. Be assertive in maintaining your boundaries, and don't be afraid to walk away if she continues to disrespect them. Sign 3. Constant drama and chaos. Is she constantly bringing drama into your life, even when everything seems fine? This is a major red flag. If a woman thrives on chaos and emotional turmoil rather than seeking peace, it can be draining and destructive. Imagine that you're enjoying a peaceful evening together, and out of nowhere, she starts an argument about something trivial, turning a calm situation into a major emotional crisis. You might have a quiet night planned, but she insists on bringing up old issues or creating tension where there was none. This behavior is often about keeping things emotionally volatile, making it difficult for you to find any semblance of peace in the relationship. She might create conflict just for the sake of having something to talk about, which can leave you feeling like you're in a never-ending emotional roller coaster. Stoicism teaches us the value of maintaining peace, regardless of what's happening around us. When chaos arises, the Stoic doesn't get swept up in the storm. They observe the situation with clarity and detachment. Emotional turmoil is not something a Stoic seeks. Instead, they focus on maintaining a calm mind and not letting external drama affect their inner state. If someone constantly brings drama into your life, it's important to recognize that this is a tactic to create emotional highs and lows. These swings are meant to destabilize you and prevent you from maintaining your peace. As a Stoic, your response should be one of calm reflection, not emotional reaction. The best thing you can do is recognize the signs early. Drama is addictive for some people, and they may even subconsciously seek it out. Your role, however, is to remain calm and composed. Don't feed in the chaos. Stay emotionally detached from the situation and focus on maintaining your own peace. When you encounter constant drama, step back, breathe, and remind yourself that you are in control of your response, not the drama itself. Sign 4. Unpredictable and uncontrolled emotions. Unpredictable and uncontrollable emotions are a major red flag in any relationship. One minute, she might be showering you with affection, and the next, she's distant or angry without any clear reason. This emotional roller coaster can leave you constantly guessing, unsure of where you stand or what kind of mood she's in. You might have days where everything feels perfect, but then, out of nowhere, she's snapping at you over something insignificant. For example, you could be having a nice dinner together, and without warning, she gets upset over a minor comment you made, or something completely unrelated to you. One moment she's the woman you're excited to be with, and the next, you're walking on eggshells, afraid to say the wrong thing. This emotional inconsistency isn't just confusing, it's exhausting. In Stoicism, we learn that our emotions are within our control. The Stoic believes that no one, not even a partner, should have the power to dictate our emotional state. If her emotions are constantly swinging between extremes, it's important to recognize that this chaos is not something you can fix or control. As a Stoic, your job is to stay grounded, maintaining your own emotional balance, no matter how unpredictable the other person may be. Stoics know that emotions are temporary. If you're on the receiving end of emotional outbursts or mood swings, it's important to detach from the situation and assess what you can do about it, if anything. The key is to remain calm and respond thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively. If you find yourself in a relationship where her emotions are unpredictable and erratic, first, recognize that you can't change or control her behavior. The key is to manage your own emotional response. Practice Stoic detachment, observe her emotions without getting swept up in them. If the relationship becomes too emotionally draining or chaotic, it may be time to reassess if it's healthy for you. Set boundaries for your emotional peace, and remember that you're not responsible for her emotions. Sign 5. Playing games with communication. A woman who plays games with communication is often a major red flag. This might include behaviors like giving you the silent treatment, avoiding direct answers, or intentionally miscommunicating. She might purposely delay responding to texts or calls, leaving you in a state of uncertainty. Or she could make you feel guilty for asking straightforward questions, turning a simple conversation into a game of emotional chess. For example, imagine you're trying to have an important conversation, but she keeps dodging the topic, deflecting to something else, or remaining silent. She might even leave you hanging with no explanation, making you feel anxious and unsure about where you stand. This type of behavior creates confusion and manipulates your emotions to maintain control over the dynamic. Stoicism teaches that we should prioritize clear, honest communication as a key element of any healthy relationship. The Stoics understood the importance of aligning our actions with our values, which includes being truthful and transparent in our interactions. If communication becomes a game, it can quickly destabilize the relationship and cause unnecessary emotional turmoil. As a Stoic, you can recognize when communication is being used as a tool of manipulation. Rather than engaging in the game or reacting emotionally, your goal should be to create an open dialogue, maintain clarity, and remain calm. If this kind of behavior persists, it's essential to reassess whether the relationship is built on mutual respect. When you encounter this behavior, it's important to address it early. Be direct in your communication and avoid playing into the drama. Tell her how this game of silence or miscommunication makes you feel and express your desire for more honest, straightforward dialogue. If the behavior doesn't change, it's a sign that she's trying to manipulate or control you. As a Stoic, you should remain calm and step away from this unhealthy communication cycle. Sign 6. Dishonesty and gaslighting. Dishonesty and gaslighting are two of the most toxic behaviors in any relationship. Gaslighting occurs when she makes you doubt your own perceptions, often twisting facts or denying things that actually happened. For example, she might deny saying something hurtful or manipulative, even though you clearly remember it. This creates confusion and makes you question your own sanity. Imagine you bring up an issue from the past, and she responds by saying, "That's not what happened. You're just remembering it wrong." Over time, these repeated denials of reality can chip away at your self-confidence and make you feel like you're always in the wrong. This manipulation tactic is not just harmful, it's emotionally destabilizing. In Stoicism, we focus on the importance of truth and understanding reality as it is. A Stoic doesn't allow their perception of reality to be distorted by others' lies or manipulations. If you're dealing with someone who constantly manipulates the truth or denies facts, it's essential to stay grounded in your understanding of what's real. The Stoic approach here is to recognize that dishonesty and gaslighting are forms of control, and your role is to remain calm, logical, and focused on the facts. When someone tries to manipulate your perception, Your response should be one of emotional detachment. Stay true to what you know and do not let their words cloud your judgment. If you find yourself in a relationship where gaslighting or dishonesty is a regular occurrence, recognize it as a manipulation tactic. And don't get caught in a cycle of doubting your own reality. Instead, calmly assert your own perceptions and stand by the truth. If these behaviors continue, it may be time to step away from the relationship to preserve your mental and emotional well-being. Think about this. When was the last time you allowed someone's emotional outbursts to dictate your peace? How did it make you feel afterward? Did you feel empowered? Or did you feel like you were being dragged into their chaos? Now, imagine what would happen if you stayed calm and rational in those situations. What could you achieve in your relationships if you were always in control of your own reactions? If you could create the space for yourself to stay steady and composed, how would that shift the dynamic? Would it bring more clarity, more peace? Remember, the Stoic man focuses on what he can control, his own reactions. By recognizing the signs of manipulation, chaos, and emotional instability, you empower yourself to protect your peace and make smarter choices in your relationships. The key is to stay grounded, no matter how stormy the situation gets. When you identify these red flags, whether it's emotional manipulation, lack of respect for boundaries, or constant drama, you can take control of your emotional state and choose how to respond. You don't have to play the emotional games or get caught up in the chaos. Instead, you can decide to live with more clarity, more intention, and more peace. So, here's what I want you to do tonight. Take a moment to reflect on your current relationships, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or anyone else close to you. Are any of these red flags present? If so, it's time to reassess. Prioritize your peace of mind and your emotional well-being. It's never too late to establish boundaries, to communicate openly, and to walk away from toxic situations if necessary. The change starts with you by understanding what you can control and what you can't. Take that first step toward creating healthier, more balanced relationships. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe. Every week we dive into practical ways to strengthen your mental resilience and make better, Stoic decisions in life and love. Don't let emotional chaos take over your life. Let's walk this path of wisdom, one decision at a time.